What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with MoneyVest. So one of the companies today reported absolutely stellar numbers with incredible performance on a year-over-year basis and closing in on a very strong note for the entire 2023. The stock's up a little bit over 8%, and in my opinion, this is one company that is a very, very important and integral part of the entire semiconductor ecosystem. So if you haven't guessed already, of course, this is one of my highest conviction stocks for the long term, and I in fact started buying in the 600s. It's done incredibly well. We're up a little bit over 32% on this company. As always, if you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, make sure that you drop a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Again, links to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining, and of course getting access to all the members only private videos, and with that 16% annual discount that's also available with the link down below. And again, you'll get access to all the members only private videos and of course the trade alerts as well. So the company that we're talking about today is going to be none other than ASML. We're up a little bit over 32% since my original purchase. Did not create a big position, but this is one of those companies that is a very, very high conviction stock for me personally. It's a company that's based out of the Netherlands, and as you can see, we're up a little bit over 32%. With the stock price today up over 8% after the earnings for the fourth quarter fiscal year 2023. Huge gap up in price, trading well over $840 per share. So it's a pretty expensive stock, and the market cap now sitting well over $300 billion once again for the first time after such a long time. Now, in terms of the actual numbers the company reported, you'll notice that the net sales growth of 30% in 2023, reflecting the continued strong global demand for our products. So for those of you who don't know what the company does, they are essentially an equipment provider for lithography equipment. Now, this is equipment that TSMC, Intel, a lot of semiconductor manufacturers use to design and create chips. So ASML, like I said earlier, is a very important part of the entire ecosystem because without their equipment, not any semiconductor can be created, right? In order for semiconductors to be manufactured, ASML provides the equipment, right? So there's a lot of different players in this ecosystem. And because ASML is the leader of this lithography equipment, some of their top customers are, of course, TSMC, Intel, right? And their customers are NVIDIA, and we've got AMD, we've got Supermicro, we've got Lam Research focusing on the research part of integrated circuits, Qualcomm focusing on chip design for 5G and IoT. So there's a lot of different variables here in this ecosystem, but ASML, in my opinion, is a very, very important player that provides a lot of this equipment here. So EUV system sales grew 30% to 9.1 billion euros, recognized revenue on 53 systems and shipped 42 systems, and DUV lithography system sales growth of 60%, 12.3 billion euros, recognized revenue on 396 systems, of which 32% immersion systems, shipped first NXT 1985 immersion systems as well as the XT400M I-line systems as well. So again, new products are being launched, and our metrology and inspection systems sales declined by about 19%, 536 million due to lower yield star system sales for the company as well. Install base also declining about 2%, 5.6 billion euros due to lower upgrade business because of how this is such a capital intensive business. There's not going to be as frequent upgrades for their customers. So that's the only concern factor from a long-term growth revenue standpoint. And when it comes to capital returns, they returned around 3.3 billion euros to shareholders through dividends and share buybacks as well. Now, for the fourth quarter, net sales of 7.2 billion euros and net system sales of 5.7 billion euros, gross margins of well over 50%, operating margins of well over 33%, and net income margins of just over 28%, with earnings per share sitting at just over 5.21 euros for the company, with net bookings sitting at over 9.2 billion euros as well. Now, majority of their revenue, again, coming from China, of course, 39%. Taiwan is going to be 13%. South Korea is going to be 25%. So ASML was also kind of caught under the purview of, the US trade FTC, like kind of putting on a lot of restrictions for exporting a lot of their equipment over to China because they want to sanction a lot of semiconductors and AI chips being sent to China because, the US believes they're weaponizing all these chips to use it in military advancement and whatnot. So ASML was also kind of caught under the fire along with Nvidia, along with AMD, along with Intel, along with lots of other companies that kind of provide semiconductors and chips and export to China, but their primary market is indeed Southeast Asia. As you can see, South Korea, Taiwan, China, and Japan pretty much make up over 70 to 80% of the overall sales that the company does. This right here is going to be by revenue. So 46% comes from China, of course, and 24% comes from Taiwan. And the US only accounts for less than 5% or 11% in terms of units, and of course, in terms of revenue as well. Now, when it comes to total net sales by end use, install base management, logic, and memory, this right here, consistent growth. As you can see, every single year, the company's been able to increase revenues from 11.8 billion euros to well over 27.5 billion as of 2023. And you can see capital return to shareholders. This right here is going to be share buybacks as well as dividends, and that has been increasing since 2014 as well. So the company has been buying back shares and, of course, doing a lot of dividends and payouts for shareholders as well. Now, when it comes to the outlook for first quarter, net sales between 5 and 5.5 billion euros, gross margins between 48 and 49%. It's going to be a slight decrease in gross margins in the first quarter. R&D costs around 1 billion euros, SG&A around 300 million euros, and 2024 outlook, similar net sales with slightly lower gross margin relative to 2023, and estimated annualized effective tax rate between 16 and 17% for the company. So this right here is the overall numbers. Gross profit with a 40% increase, absolutely phenomenal. 51% margin expansion here. Net income as a percentage of sales, margins growing to 28%, with earnings per share increasing to almost 20 euros per share. That's up from 14. That's over I think 25% increase on a year-over-year basis. And again, on a diluted basis, it's 1989. Systems sold, lithography systems sold unit-wise, 449. So that's again a huge increase from 345, over 100 units more compared to 2022, and net bookings sitting at well over 20 billion. Now, this is perhaps one of the only thing concerning, that because we went into the year with such high bookings of over 30.6 billion, that's why that a lot of that converted into actual sales of 27.5. Now, 2024, they're kind of going into the year with only 20 billion bookings, 20 billion euros worth of bookings. So that again is going to be a little bit of an issue for the company in terms of the growth. So they have kind of suggested that, okay, the growth may not be as aggressive as what we have seen in 2023. So it might be a little bit lower compared to this year, compared to 2023, basically. And this right here is going to be the balance sheet. So we are looking at cash and cash equivalents and short-term investments of just over 7 billion euros, with their non-current liabilities of over 10.2. So I think the company does have slightly more debt than cash on the balance sheet, but of course, total assets do exceed total liabilities, and current assets also do exceed current liabilities as well. So the balance sheet's, again, still pretty solid and pretty stable. Shares outstanding have been going down, so just under 400 million. And if you come over to earnings expectations here for the long term, we're looking at ASML to grow from $20 a share all the way to $90 by 2032. So this, again, is going to be very, very good growth stock to consider for the long term. Yes, the valuation is a little bit more on the higher end now, considering how much it's moved up. So we're looking at 37, 36 times earnings. Again, price to sales trading at a little bit over 10, price to cash flow at over 37 as well. So I'm not really buying at these prices because of how high it's trading right now. It's over 8%, $843. So this is not a stock that I'm personally looking at, okay, this is great prices, I want to buy. But yes, still keep this on your radar for the next opportunity, for the next buying opportunity, buying window, for when it does drop down to maybe some better levels in the 600s or maybe even the 700s, to consider this stock once again. So this right here is going to be that next target, that next resistance, obviously, and that is going to be pretty much be the all-time high. This week, ASML is up a little bit over 11%. Super happy, super pleased with this performance. Of course, from its low 500s, mid 500s, the stock's now up 49, 50%. Was not able to capture the entire move, but I believe I started buying in the low 600s. Sent out all the alerts. Again, link's going to be down below if you want to join. Of course, October 22 was the best time at $300, $379, and since then it's already up over 129%. So in my opinion, don't sleep on this stock. Very, very important part of the entire ecosystem for semiconductors. Provides incredible equipment, absolutely incredible fundamentals and statistics across the board with very strong KPIs. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about ASML? Are you buying, selling, or holding? The overall technicals are just incredible. Take a look at the weekly chart here, higher highs and higher lows. So nothing but a beautiful chart here for ASML. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Links to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. It's always happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.